Hello there. So yeah, it's Daniel here, man. Today was interesting. My manager, she kind of she called all of us out. Like, you're not doing the job. Now because like when you look at the numbers, like, hey, there's nothing you can say, man. It's the 25th of August, and like there's just one sale. Dang, that's just like one sale. Um, and like this sale actually was made last month, not this month. It was from last month. So actually, this month zero, and there's like what, for like everyone overall is like 40 calls, like zero sales, zero. And like she was right, to be like mad about it, you know. Um, Still, you know, um, I'm cool because I know that at least for me personally, I know it takes time. It's not gonna be overnight, you know. And like the ratio from what I've seen is like 20 to 1. Like you need like 20 calls to get one sale. Not only me, but like everyone. So like that's the ratio that I've seen. So it's like 5% close rate. Uh, of course, I'm like working towards improving that. Of course, you know. But at the same time, I was like, oh fuck, she's right, you know. Like it's the numbers, man. There's nothing you can say. And but like at least for me, like talking like about me, like I'm cool because like I'm not that I'm putting the work. I'm studying. I'm taking the calls. I'm analyzing my calls. You know. So like, there's nothing to worry about. You know. If I get fired, well, fuck it. I find another job. With sales. But this time I'm gonna be better because I've learned with this offer, which I don't think is gonna be the case. Because like I might because it's like all about benchmark because she like if no like that's interesting. This is gonna be very interesting because there's this rep on my team and like she has been there for probably 3 months. Three. It's not like one. It's not two. It's 3 months. She hasn't made any sales. Yeah, she hasn't made any sales. If and then like last month, you know, the CEO said something like, if like there's a rep and this rep doesn't make any sales in 30 or like 60 days, it's he he's gonna be fired. If there's a rep, he or she doesn't matter, doesn't make sales, doesn't bring like results, fire him or her. And if that was true, she was supposed to be like fired like last month. So like it's interesting to see like how much they allow you to like slip through the cracks. How much um how much um not negotiable but like how much flexible and like rigid is their word. Because like if they were like really being serious about it, you know well, like we'll see, we'll see, because like that's a good thing. That's a good thing because if they're like that, like of course it's not like, man, I need to make sale, of course I'm working towards it, but like I also recognize that it takes time. It's not gonna be overnight. There's iterations to occur. uh Still iterations to occur. So like that's gonna take time, and like I'm gonna lose a lot of videos. I know that. I know, and I accept that. It's part of the process. But the thing is, will they, allow that to happen? Because like they've been doing that with like other raps. So like that's why I'm kind of like, okay, cool. And like the thing is, like I'm putting like crazy numbers, and they're still like, and like this other rap, she's not putting any numbers, and she's like any numbers at all. She's not dialing, she's not booking appointments, and any sales, and they're still like letting her getting away with it. So that's why I'm like, okay, if that's happening to her, like I'm probably safe. Now that I'm thinking, I'm like I'm focusing too much on the other reps. Well, that's nuts. Because it's my benchmark, man. Not like the bench, because like I've just been thinking about this. They were like all talking about like how we can do this, we can do that, but you close the deals, and I'm like, bro, it's not working. It's just not working. But like I don't have the track record to support my claims, even though like I know that I'm right, and I know that like the the NPQ process it's better. I don't know enough about NPQ. I haven't put the reps yet. I need to put like way more reps. Need to understand, need to practice it, need to train. There's like a lot of things that I need to learn. Not only learn, but like actually execute properly. And that takes time. It's hard. Like it's easy for me to say, but like you know, takes time, man. It just takes time. You know, and like that's and like because like once you're in the middle, like you're in the midst of all this, anxiety, like you become anxious. It's normal, man. It's human. Like if everyone's anxious, like even though you might be like very stoic, like you're also gonna be anxious. So yeah, but like I try to control myself, but I was like, oh man, like it's useless, bro. Like not working. But there's like only two reps. No, they have way more experience. Like it's like um, the manager of the other unit and the guy who has been there for like 1 year, but like he's not working. He's barely working. Oh, he bullshitted like, oh, I'm sick, and then like I can't like and then like I'm not gonna be able to work. So bullshit, man. He was fine. He was fine. You know. But he knows better. But like he's not putting like he's a lazy rep, but he's very skilled because he has been there for like 1 year. And if that's his attitude, like with that attitude, like I don't think he was like making sales like every month. So like, well, no. And also like I'll finally able to get access to the sales community of Math Writer. Um, because I was having some trouble with my credit card. It's like a prepaid, but like I can use with using the credit function. So I was able to. There's like almost 10%, man. It's 9% actually of fees, man. So like it's $69, the actual price. Like with the fees, it's actually uh, 88 $88. So it's a lot of fees, man. But anyway, it's worth it because I was like, fuck, like now, like with this, like oh, But I have to study, and not only study, I have to understand, and then like once I understand, I have to practice, and then like when practicing, I'm gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. That's part of the process, and then I'm going to start to see the results. But again, that takes time, you know. And of course, putting a crazy number, a crazy volume, I'm gonna like I'm gonna compress the try trial and error to actually go through the iteration process and learn how to properly execute and get a procedural knowledge. Because I have a lot of declarative knowledge around sales. Like I know about stuff, but that doesn't mean that I know how to do the stuff that I know about. So like in order to fill that gap, I need to practice, you know? And if I put more volume, I'm gonna have more opportunities to practice. And if I have more opportunities to practice, I'm gonna learn faster. Therefore, I'm gonna increase the likelihood of me getting the outcomes that I want, which is sales. You know? And yeah, man. Crazy shit. It was interesting day. So yeah, man. That's it. Let's keep moving forward. No, let's conquer. Bye.